Hey, shalom, shalom, brother Bakash, back on that scene, back on that social media, YouTube scene. Still a bit under the weather. I believe the powers that be, they're doing their thing. I can't go into specifics, but you brothers and sisters who are wise, I think you get the meaning of where I'm going. But there's a feeling in the air if you get it. But you got to do the best you can and serve the Most High at the same time. You see the riots in Amsterdam spilling into social media or the news. You got tension in Russia. You got China at odds with the U.S. And you have the liars being exposed in regards of the mandates and so on and so forth. Right now, they're debating if the mandates are constitutional or unconstitutional. I don't know where it's going to go. I think these devils are going to prolong it as long as they can, and then they'll have to come to an end, and then they'll try something else. But we'll see. I don't know. I really can't tell at this point. But you got a lot of things going on, and like I said in the prior video, the Gentiles, they're going to see the light. They're going to see a lot of what we're saying is the truth, and they're going to come to grips that what we've been teaching for so many years is the truth. Scripture tells you that clearly. It's just a matter of time, though. It's all good, and it's just a matter of time. But I want to show you a couple of articles because what's happening is that this is what I personally believe. The Most High put a spirit on these devils to do what they're doing, to kind of reveal their true nature. That's one, and two, to reveal our nature and our faith in the Heavenly Father. Do we value our jobs, our livelihoods, our mortgages, or real estate rather, and our cars, our bling bling? Do we put those things above the Most High? You know the story of the rich man. He came to the Lord and he said, I did A, B, and C. I fed the poor and I fast 7 days a week. And I'm speaking verbatim. I'm being funny too. But he claimed he did all these things. And the Lord told him what? Sell all that you have or give away all you have, I believe he said, and follow me. And what happened? He was speechless and he couldn't do it. He was very rich and he couldn't do it. And that's where we're at now. So the Most High is not just testing Esau, the so-called white man. He's testing us too. You better believe he's testing us too. And this is just the beginning. And I think what caught a lot of brothers and sisters off was that this thing just came out of nowhere. It came so fast and out of nowhere, even though we've been talking about it for years. And I think that's the issue, or one of the issues at least. And this is where we're at. Now the question is, who's sincere? The Lord said, where your heart is, there's your treasure. Where your heart is, there's your treasure. And we should be encouraging brothers and sisters to stay in the faith and don't be afraid of the lockdowns or the mandates, whatever. We should be forced. We should be really putting that spirit in brothers' minds. And like I said in the last video, we should never forget that we are pilgrims and sojourners in our captivity, in the land of our enemies. We should never forget that. And you should teach it to your children the same way our forefathers taught about the great deliverance out of Egypt and how the Most High was with us. We should be inspiring our children to focus and learn the ways of the Most High and the power of the Most High, and to develop their faith in the Most High and not to worry. I think we all got a little too comfortable in Babylon, and we start to begin we begin to think that we're not slaves until the Most High gives you that Negro wake up call. But I think that's one of the major issues. We forget where we at or who we are. And because the white man and the heathen smile in your face a little bit, you automatically think that you're good, that there's no slavery, and we're all equal, and the white man loves everybody, and we can love everybody. But that's not the way it is. That's just not the way the world works. That's just not the way the world works. Fool yourself if you want, but that's just not the way the world works. The Most High tells you in Revelations 2, verse 25, it says, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come, and he that overcometh, overcometh what? Doubt, temptation, lust, fear, hatred, all the spiritual elements that take you away from spirituality or your salvation." And we're going to be bombarded with these things for quite some time. The Most High, he's making that quite evident. The white man, the devil, he's making that very, very evident. So it's a race. It's a race, but it's also a battle. It's a race and it's a battle to see who's going to hang on and who's going to drop off. Who's going to hang on and who's going to drop off, because the enemy is at work. You better believe that the enemy is at work. This is not going anywhere. I keep telling you, we have enemies. And a lot of you in your feelings, and you don't want to accept that reality that we have enemies. And this enemy will kill a lot of theirs to get most of us or ours. They will destroy a lot of their children to get rid of a lot of our children, because we have children at a phenomenal rate. Just like your forefathers and the children that knew they were the children of Israel in Egypt, they multiplied and that grieved the Egyptians. Today, the modern day Egyptians, they're grieved. They grieve with the fact that you just multiply, no matter how hard they try to eliminate you or eradicate you or exterminate you from this earth. These things are issues. The Most High is not going to flat leave you if you lose your jobs. The Most High is not going to leave you to hang dry if you lose your job because of a mandate. The Most High is not going to have you starving if you walk in the faith. You have to have faith. And you have to have wisdom, and you have to have understanding as far as what you are dealing with and how to serve the Most High properly. These things are important. These things are key. The Most High says, "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come." Hold fast till the Most High comes, till Yahushua comes, the Lord and Savior. Key thing. And the clock is ticking. Clock is ticking, ticking, ticking. So what are you going to do? "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, To him will I give power over the nations. To him will I give power over the nation. But before that, the Most High is choosing. He's choosing for who are his best soldiers. He wants his best out there. I want to show you something I found very interesting over the weekend. These devils, Most High got them slipping, man. And I think because the Most High know that this is kind of rough on us, I think he lets them slip like this occasionally to give us a little relief. Those who are in total fear. But it says Justice Sotomayor incorrect on serious child COVID-19 cases. Now you remember this woman? She was let me see if they have a picture of her. She was put in a position as one of the judges in Wicked, DC, and she's from the Bronx. I believe she's a northern sister from one of the 12 tribes. I could be wrong, but I tend to lean in that direction. I tend to believe that she's one of the tribes. But point is, you would think that she would know better, being she's from the Bronx, and she's part of the tribe. But you would think that'd be an issue, as far as her going along with the government. But once you at the top and you with the government, you're gonna sell your soul. There's only so much you can do up at the top. But it says claim more than 100,000 children are in serious condition with COVID-19 in the U.S. 100,000, she's saying. AP's assessment, false. Federal data shows that around 5,000 minors are currently hospitalized with confirmed or suspected COVID-19. They're saying that a lot of the kids and the children that have been diagnosed with COVID don't even have COVID. That a lot of adults who go into the hospital don't even have COVID. So that would lead you to believe that the numbers are not actually accurate. I got to be careful with what I say. The numbers are not actually accurate. And we've been saying this since day one. Since day one, we've been saying this, right? This is why it's so important. It's so important to get the facts. Get the facts of everything. This is why this is so important. And so-called Negroes and Hispanics, we tend to function off of emotion. We love emotion. And when someone tells you something, you get angry. You get angry and you get in your feelings, and no one can tell you anything. And you end up with COVID when you don't even have COVID. You end up in trouble in the system when you could have avoided it. Tell me I'm lying. The Most High says, the simple believeth every word. See that? A simple person, they're going to believe every word. They're not going to check things out. A simple person, they're going to believe what the enemy says, and they're going to reject the word of the Most High. A simple person, they don't have any respect for the truth or the word of the Most High. They just go based on feelings and emotions. But the Most High says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man, the prudent man, meaning the wise man, a man of understanding, a man who follows scripture and the Most High and looks things up and doesn't take follow social media as the gospel, but check things out, goes to different sources. That's a prudent man. To be prudent means to be wise. So the Lord said, but the prudent man looketh well to his goings. He's going to check things out. A prudent man, he's going to check things out. But a man that's full of emotions and bitter and can't be told anything, he loves this present world. And he can't be told anything. But a wise man, he's going to check things out. A wise man, he's going to follow the Holy Spirit. He's going to humble himself to righteousness. He's going to humble himself to spirituality. And if he runs into a brother, or in some cases a sister, that gives him valuable knowledge or helpful knowledge in these last days that's very well needed, he's going to humble himself and he's going to check things out. But the wicked of all people, they're going to continue in their wickedness. See, we see us who are of the faith, we know that the money can't save you. We know the money is not the key. We know the money is not the key. The money can't save you. We know that the Spirit of the Most High, that's what comes first. That's what's going to save us. But you got women who are strippers and brothers who are chasing a rap deal or choose to sell drugs or rob and steal. They think that that's the best course of action. They think that. The Most High says how much better it is to get wisdom than gold. See that? How much better it is to get wisdom than gold and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. It's better to be chosen than to chase silver, right? It's better to get wisdom than gold, right? It's always better to do dumb things. But again, it says false. Federal data shows that around 5,000 minors are currently hospitalized with confirmed or suspected COVID-19 since August 2020. Fewer than 83,000 kids have been hospitalized with the virus. See that? According to the U.S. Center for Disease and Control Prevention, the fact Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor made the claim on Friday during oral arguments over the Biden administration's COVID-19 vaccine rules for private employers and healthcare workers. Now they're in court debating if it's constitutional. They said some time ago the state should have the right to make a decision on mandates and how they're going to deal with the current situation, the virus situation. And where's Congress? You know, where how do they play out in this situation? What, you know, they should have a say in the situation. In other words, a president just can't declare with the sign of a pen a mandate where if you're not vaccinated, you should be let go from your job. So generating significant discussion on social media that spilled over the weekend. We have hospitals that are almost at full capacity with people severely ill on ventilators. We have over 100,000 children which we've never had before in serious conditions and many on ventilators. That was false. That was false. Said Sotomayor during an exchange with the Ohio solicitor, General Benjamin Flowers, about how the Omicron variant of the coronavirus has changed the pandemic. So they straight out lie. You know, she's lying, and she's not the only one, and she won't be the last. We jump down here. It says, but while hospitalizations for kids and teens with the virus are rising sharply as the highly infection variant spreads, and some have been placed on ventilators. Some federal data shows Sotomayor's claim about serious illness among children is incorrect. The latest data from the Department of Health and Human Services show 5,018 patients in pediatrics. 5,000 across the pediatric hospital beds across the country who have either tested positive for COVID or are suspected of having the virus. The number of confirmed cases was 3,743, and opposed to 100,000. Isn't that something? So the Lord, again, he says, the simple believeth every word. And I find that to be true. The simple, they're going to believe every word. This is why you got to be very wise, brothers and sisters. This system or this government is full of crap. They're falling apart. And that's not just a regular mistake. That's the Most High, you know, throwing monkey wrenches in the inboxes. That's the Most High. So this is another article. Where we at? COVID reveal. Quash the Biden administration is sweeping sweeping vaccine mandate is supposed to be in effect, requiring all businesses to force their employees to vaccinate or test in order to keep their jobs. Employers who are caught breaking the mandate would be charged $13,600 per non-compliant employee. Is that constitutional? Along with a host of other stiff fines that could run in the 700,000 range. The mandate has caused significant backlash. From a nation that is struggling to find people willing to work. That's an issue too. That's an issue. People don't want to work. People don't want to work, and they would rather sit down at home than to be vaccinated. Then at the same time, they're letting go people. So what does that cause? That causes businesses to raise their prices, and that causes you to have to dig deeper in your pockets to buy certain necessities, which leads to a broken economy. This thing is very serious. Thing is very, very serious, and a lot of people don't think it's serious. It's very serious. And it's not just in America, it's all over the world. It's all over the world. You can only push the people but so far, but there's a serious plan in the making. This is more than just a virus. This is about the manipulation and control of the minds and bodies of the people before Judgment Day. And now, at this point, if you can't see that, you are seriously sick. You're sick. And you got a lot of sick individuals out there. A lot. You have a lot of sick individuals out there. The Most High says in 1 John 2, verse 18, it says, "Little children, it is the last time, as ye have heard, the Antichrist shall come. Even now there are many Antichrists." The Antichrist shall come. Even now there are many Antichrists. And we see that. We see that. Little children, it is the last time. As ye have heard, the Antichrist shall come. Even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Whereby we know it is the last time. And this is not going to stop. It's going to keep escalating, and it's going to shift to the point where it's going to be clearly black and white, up and down, left and right, good and evil, righteous and unrighteous. Bottom line. The Most High says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe, meaning destruction to the inhabitants of the earth. See that? Meaning those who are in a lower position. And not just the heathens. I mean, not just us, the heathens as well. They will kill a lot of them to get a lot of us, or to try to offset prophecy. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He knoweth that he has but a short time. This is where we at. This is what it is. But this is why you can't give a damn about the threats. This is where you have to push back on the fear that's trying to get in your minds. This is why. A lot of brothers is angry. A lot of sisters are angry. But who are you really angry at? You're angry at the Most High. A bad situation is not necessarily a bad situation. Sometimes a bad situation is the Most High pushing you in the proper direction you need to go in. In other words, if you're in a house and the Most High or situation wise, you're supposed to be out of that house, the house may need to catch on fire, and you upgrade to another house. So every bad situation sometimes is just an affliction to move you to the next level. So you may lose your job, you may lose your wife, you may lose your kids, you may lose your property or your car. But at the end of the day, you can't forget that you are a servant of the Most High. We have a job to do. Do your job. Don't let fear change your routine or who you are as a servant of the Most High. Bottom line. You're soldiers. And you can't forget that. You're soldiers of the Most High, and that cannot be forgotten. The Most High says in Isaiah 60 verse 1, it says, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. And the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. And gross darkness the people. So not only are our people in darkness, the whole world, including the nations, are in darkness. And gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and the kings to the brightness of thy and the kings to the brightness of thy rising. So the heathens, they're gonna recognize us as the children of the Most High. Oh, they're gonna recognize us as the children of the Most High. And it's already started. They're gonna want this knowledge, and They're going to ask questions because they're tired of it too. You see them in the streets. You see them out in the streets fighting and rioting out in the streets. Why is that? Because they realize it's BS. They realize that. And they're tired of it. They realize it's a lie. They know it's a lie. You saw what we just read with that Sotomayor. How many times it said the mask, if you get vaccinated, you will not get sick. If you wear the mask, there's a less chance you will not get sick. Now they're saying a whole different thing now. Every damn month, a new variant is coming out. Every month, it seems like a couple of months, it seems like a new, you have to take another booster shot. Jeremiah 16, verse 19 says, "O Lord, my strength and my fortress." See that? "O Lord, my strength and fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction." So we in that day. And we acknowledge that the Lord, He's our fortress. And we acknowledge that's what's going to bring us back together, so-called Negroes and Hispanics, the Most High's chosen people. We know that's the key. Coming together in the Most High's righteousness. Now, some people have a problem with Hispanics being the Most High's chosen people. And that's dumb as hell to me. Because everywhere we go, the Hispanics go. The Hispanics, so-called as Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans were heathens. Why are they always with us in the ghettos? Those of you who are up in age, you've seen those corny movies from back in the days. Need that back again. You seen them corny movies from back in the days with them pop locking and break dancing. You didn't see any Chinese heathens running with us. You didn't see any East Indian heathens running with us. But if you're from Brooklyn and you went to Park Slope, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Hispanics were with us. If you're from the Bronx, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Hispanics were with us. If you were from Coney Island, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Hispanics were always with us. If you're from Philly, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Hispanics were always with us. If you watch MMA, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans are dominating MMA with us. If you're watching boxing, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans are dominating boxing with us. If you've been to prison up north, Sing Sing, Elmira, Attica, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Mexicans are filled in the prisons with us. Yet we are divided. But the Most High tells you, just like Esau, he's going to learn that he have learned lies. Just like Esau he's going to find out that he has learned lies. The Most High tells you clearly that Israel and Judah, meaning the so-called Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, we're going to get it together, man. We're going to get it back together, and the Most High, He's going to bring us back together. It's already started. You got so many Hispanics that recognize and know that they're Jews now. Even though you have people on Facebook trying to say all the Jews are black, but that doesn't make any sense. Because you know why it doesn't make sense? Because you're not looking at it spiritually. You're not looking at it spiritually. Hispanics have always been among us. You have America is known as the melting pot. New York City alone is known as the melting pot. Why aren't the other heathens among us like Hispanics? Why don't they have the same spirit like Hispanics? Why do Hispanics act so much like black people when you claim that they're heathens, yet they act so much like us? Doesn't make any sense. And a lot of you deep down, you know this. Deep down, you know this. Deep down, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Show you something real quick. Chrome, right there. This is Isaiah, the 11th chapter and the 11th verse. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day," meaning Judgment Day. Make sure it's there. Okay, go back again. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord will set His hand again a second time." So when was the first time? Let's read on. To recover the remnant of His people. So the first time is when we were serving slavery in Egypt. So we're in a modern day Egypt right now. It's just that the white man, the devil, known biblically as Esau, he rules this modern day Egypt, this spiritual Egypt that the Most High put us into captivity up in. And in this same captivity, no matter where you go, where so-called blacks go, Hispanics are always in the hood with us. You got Chinese that come to this country, but they don't go to the hood with us. You got East Indians that come to this country, but they don't go in the hood with us. But Hispanics, they go in the hood with us. The white man hates the Hispanics just like he hates us. So how do you explain this? Because you're not looking at it spiritually. You're not looking at it spiritually. Let's see if I can get that better. All right. I can't get in there. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. So let's look at it. Let's examine this. So this is a question I always have for these brothers that's always pushing this, and this is prophecy. This is prophecy right here. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea." So we're scattered into all these places, including the islands of the sea. "And He shall set up an ensign for the nations." And He shall set up an ensign for the nations, the ensign being Christ, Yahweh Shai, the scriptures, the truth. "And shall assemble," see, "and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel." So when something is apart, divided or broken up, it needs to be assembled. When you read this book of James 1 verse 1, the Lord said He would scatter us into the four corners of the earth. The book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 64, the Lord said He would scatter us into the four corners of the earth. Here it's saying in the 12th verse, "And He shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and shall gather together," see that? "And shall gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." See, so Judah was dispersed into the four corners of the earth, as well as the other tribes. Now, 13th verse, it says, "The envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off." So the envy of Ephraim, we say that Ephraim are the Hispanics. And we say that Judah is the so-called Negroes. So how is this possible? How would you determine if all the tribes are black? How would you determine if Ephraim and Judah, according to prophecy, the envy and the anger would depart from them? There's no example of that today. There's no way to determine who's who, unless Ephraim have to be so-called Hispanics and Judah has to be so-called Negroes. In other words, there has to be a difference, and there has to be an example of them envying and vexing each other in the first place. There has to be an example. And the example I get is what I mentioned earlier. That's the example I get, and that's the example I see, and that's the example I'm sticking with. So we see that coming to pass. in these last days, and the few and the judgment that's going to be the judgment. This is something that's going on now. Hatred and vexation and envy between these two parts of the nation. That's what the Most High is saying. This is happening now, and the Most High said He's going to stop it. So, what example do you have of this happening between all black tribes? Unless what we're saying is correct. The Lord said, "The envy of Ephraim shall depart. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart." This is the future. So Ephraim has envy. An adversary of Judah shall be cut off. So we have an adversary. Judah has an adversary, mainly Esau. Ephraim shall not envy Judah. Ephraim shall, meaning it hasn't happened yet, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So this has to be happening now. So if it's all black tribes, where's the example of this happening? This has to be happening now. So here you have brothers and Mexicans, which is a big problem in California, but not just in California, in other parts of the United States, where a lot of Hispanics are taught to hate so-called blacks. A lot of so-called blacks and Hispanics are now coming together. They're recognizing that the enemy is the white man. When you had those riots uptown and throughout the country, you saw Hispanics and blacks looting and breaking into stores together. You saw them being chased by the cops together. That's very clear. So this is a revelation, or this is something that's going to happen in the future. But not just that, the heathens also, they're going to recognize that what we're teaching is the truth. So for that to happen, that's a spirit from the Most High. That's a spirit from the Most High. But the Most High also has a spirit in regards of the Gentiles. It says, "O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction." So we are currently in the day of affliction. It's just that we're wise enough to go to the Most High when we're troubled. We're wise enough to do that. "The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth." See that? From the ends of the earth. "The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit." Where there is no profit. So this is they're going to recognize. So there's a great battle between Jacob and Esau. Esau being the so-called white race, Jacob being the so-called black race. But as we progress and as Esau starts to lose his power, he's going to recognize that what we've been teaching is the truth, and what they have learned are lies. What they have learned are lies. That's what it's going to come down to. It says right here, "Yet the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered." This is the issue. I brought this out many times. I'm going to keep bringing this out. I'm going to keep bringing this up. As bad as we are, we just keep pumping out those children. As wicked as we are, we just keep pumping out those children, and them children, they are born in wickedness. And then the prophets and the servants of the Most High come and remove the strongholds from off their minds and bring them to the Most High. And this is a problem. This has to be dealt with, and it's being dealt with from a wicked perspective. The division, they can't stop the division. We're starting to see who the real enemy is. "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power." Ye are the sons of the living power. So this they can't stop the prophecies. So truth is truth. Bottom line. Truth is truth. So is that Supreme Court thing? Let me get that up for you. I'm not gonna keep you long. I'm still kind of sick, but says the Supreme Court met on Friday to discuss the situation, and here's the gist of what happened. It looks like there's a reasonably good chance that the mandate will be overturned, at least for non-health care workers. That's not a promise by any means, but the court justice seems ready to ready to reject Biden after discussing it for around 4 hours during Friday's meeting. I thought they did, but I guess not. It says possibly very good news for the millions of employees who have been holding their breath, waiting to see if they will have to decide between feeding their families and taking the V they disagree with. Officially, the final word on Friday is that uh, that the justices have agreed to hear the case on rush basis. Although it's sounding promising, it's important to know that it's currently unclear how long it will take before we have an answer or what that answer will be. This is a pivotal case in the history of the U.S., and the decisions will have a massive impact on our personal rights and freedom of choice. I'll keep you updated keep you updated as things develop. In the meantime, it's good time to reflect, pray, and consider how quickly uh, quickly things have come to this point. Unbelievable, but that's what it is. I pray you brothers and sisters, man. Uh, you keep it together and you do what's right. Again, I'm a little under the weather, so I know I need to go and sit down and get myself together, get something to eat, and get myself together. But listen, know this, that no matter what happens, the Most High always comes first. No matter how low you feel or whatever you're going through, the Most High, He always comes first. And if you have the Most High in your heart, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you, whether it's from the heathens or from or even enemies of our own people. And you're gonna see a lot of that. You have a lot of enemies among our own people. Nothing can stop you if you're following the Most High and doing what's right. You have to do what's right, of course, but just keep the Most High in your hearts and stay focused on the truth, and everything will work out. Bottom line, you know, disciples, they went through hell, and those who followed Yahweh Shai, they had to carry that cross, and we're not exempt. We're gonna be tested, and we're gonna be put through trials and tribulations in hell too. And know this: we have enemies. You brothers and sisters who are laboring on the front lines. I was on social media since Thursday, and I realized, the enemy is not always the white man. We have a lot of enemies amongst our own people who hate the fact that you brothers and sisters who are standing up, and you're out there on the front lines, and you're bringing out the word on the highways and on the corners. You have your issues, but you need to kind of tone down on your hatred towards each other and your attacks, and recognize that you got people who know they're Israel, but they hate you. They hate you, and watch your steps, man, because any little move you make, they're gonna judge you on those moves and try to get you out the way. In other words, don't shame the gospel. Do what's right. Take low and stay focused, and know that the Most High is with us. You brothers and sisters, you stay healthy. Keep your hands and your homes clean, and washed down. Sanctified, cleansed. Eat properly. Give the fast foods a break, and do what's right, and the Most High will provide. Pray for me, and I'll pray for you. Be a pillar and a brother or sister to those who are weak in the faith. And I'll speak to you later. Shalom.